Okay, so when we do our drawing, we're going to clean this up a little bit. I would not call this a best practice for the section views. Putting a section view on the outside and pointing towards that face, maybe they wanted to highlight, but if this is my front view, then this is my left view, this is my right view, and this is my top view. I don't really need to make those sections or have have anything going on there. If there was some detail, or if we put the section view on the interior and pointed it, then we would maybe be able to see some of this inside geometry a little bit better as well. All right, so there are multiple drawings here that they ended up with. All right, so the 15, I'm going to probably stay with these and refer back to the other one just because. All right, so the section AA, I mean, if you wanted to call those out in higher detail on additional sheets, um, I just think there's better ways to say that this is the right side view and the left side view and whatnot. So minor critique, but they it would help with the readability. All right, so we got the half 13. That looks like one of the small ones. Yeah, we'll have to check. So half 13 on this side, quarter 20s on those, quarter 20 for 3. So 1, 2. Well, this is only going to be in this view, 1, 2, 3. So if that's a quarter 20, then yeah, the 281 should go that way. All right, well, we'll get this sorted out and we'll make those changes when we need to. So new part inch, and we're going to go to the front. Oh, let's see where that internal geometry is. So dimensioning to the hidden lines. Yeah, there's still some strange things going on here. So let's close that out. Got the 1 inch and the whole pattern. Then we're back to that. And that one looks like I didn't catch that before. That almost looks like a complete undercut. So would have thought that that would have been a fillet because that just made this a very expensive part if you're going to try to blend those into that corner that way. All right, so things that you notice the second time that you look at it. Let's see, the 0.88 and then the fillets and the radius. All right, well, let's start with this one, and we'll get the geometry in, and then we'll worry about the holes after. All right, so we need to pick a side, and we're going to go up over. And again, I'm not going to worry about all those fillets and rounds until we get a little further in. And we'll just start building now. What I would do in industry versus what I'm doing here, I would make a really big mess out of this if I was doing this as for a part that I was actually going to build. So let's see, we have the 4.75, no, 1 inch, and then we go to the 4.75, and then to the 6 inch, and then to 12.5. Oh, probably should make that 15 real quick. And then we can go to the 12.5. And we are the same height all the way across. So select, control select, collinear. All right, and again, we could also do point, point, and make those horizontal, or a line and a point coincident, line and a point coincident. All right, should be at the point where you are able to decide on those relations. Yeah, no, there's still that that geometry work goes into blend. So let's do one of those as a point and a line and coincident. And again, I tend to go to the lines mainly because they're the easiest to select, biggest targets. All right, so let's find our side geometry, and 0.75 and 0.75 with an overall of 0.5. So we can go features, and then I have to decide if I'm going to build this way. And since this was the front view, I'm going to go that way instead. 0.75 and OK. I want to stay in that same view, so we'll open up the sketch, but I want to draw on this side, so I'm looking at the same geometry. Let's see if we can zoom up a little bit. That one's not very descriptive. It does look like it's still coming around there. All right, so 0.75 to the tray, or to the inside of that base. And then we'll try to decipher what's going on from the views with the hidden. So yeah, that either that is a weird blend for the fillets. Might be the weird blend for the fillets where it comes into the radius, but there's a lot of geometry. So since it's not very well called out, we'll go ahead and make our best determinations. So that looks like it's even with the 2-inch there. Try and visually figure out which side I'm working from now. The AA. And so let's just say that it's, we'll start off with the 2-inch. See if there's anything over here. Yeah, I would just look at this being a flat plate across the bottom and being done with it. That extra geometry, don't really know what purpose it serves, but let's see, the 0.75, and then on this side we had the 0.5 to the step. All right, so I think I got that pretty well sorted out. That it's going to be the same geometry. So let's go ahead and sketch a little bit to the interior and back over. And I'm going to go ahead and tie these together. And that was a little bit of a mess. Maybe? No? Found it. All right. Thought I overshot that one. So 2 inches, 0.75. And then the other choice, let's just go collinear. And while I'm here, I'll make it equal. And equal was just a little bit outside of the frame on that one. All right, so if I have to do the math, 1.5, 0.7 plus 0.75 is 1.5. 5 minus 1.5 would be 3.5. So let's go extrude boss base. And I can use that math, or I can do, since there's full intersection on the geometry, I could pick the surface as my starting point and give it a blind in condition of 5 inches. And then when I extrude the other side, I just got to make sure that I'm extruding into the part. And we are merging the result. All right, so 3.5 should work out when we get back to it. All right, so we'll open up the sketch this way. Now, based on that geometry, let's close the zoom. And that was where we started. And then we come back to the other side. All right, so small tab, large tab, small tab, large tab. So that kind of makes sense. And we'll float that out of the way. All right, so I'm in my sketch. I should be able to reuse some of this geometry as the relations. And we'll just sketch all of this in. And it's going to go to the overall. And then back down to the start. All right, so other than that one, horizontal, let's see, did I miss that one? Apparently I did. So that one went coincident to the edge, so that kind of coincident and coincident don't really need a horizontal there. That one got the horizontal, that one I added the horizontal, and so one of these will just make collinear since it's relating to that other side. If I thought that these were going to change height at all, then I'd worry about it. So here's my my thought on design revisions, looking into my magic crystal ball of design intent. Going forward, I'm not sure that we need to remove all this material and make this as expensive a part as it's going to be. If it needed these extra for the frame, the holder side, I would still be not knowing the loads, but I would still be tempted to just say eliminate all of this. We'll strengthen the base a little bit, put our side holes in here, and mount directly to this inside. That this extra rigidity, even if this is a casting, it still works out to be a kind of a much more expensive part than it needs to be. So, and the 12.5. All right, and then the last bit of blue, everything moves up and down, so let's go select, control select, collinear. And that gives me my geometry, so features, extrude, and then we just have to be a little careful because it's going to want to go that way, but we really need to go that way back into the part, and then we'll do a quick double check of our numbers. So control 7 to go isometric. Okay, I'm not entirely sure which way that I went. I might have told that first extrude to go the... No, that's it. Okay, so visually, check, recheck, check again. And get the movement out of the way. So the small, yeah, I'm still not seeing those posts. But anyway, the small, the large, the small, the large. Make sure that I'm looking at this this correctly. So let's slide back over here, and we have the geometry for the 1/2-13s and the 1/4-20s. They did not give us a hole depth. There's plenty of material, so that would be one of those 0.75, anywhere from 5/8 to 0.75 deep. So let's put in the 1/2-13 first. And, oh, I slipped back into a sketch. No. So we'll just get out of that, and I will go back to the hole wizard. And we're looking for threaded holes this time. And we're going to go to 1/2-13. And it's going to be an up to next, because through all would find this other geometry, and that wouldn't be so good. All right, so into our dimensions, 13.77, 1 inch off of the base. And that should be good. We have the fully defined sketch. That one will go in place. We have the relief. So our next hole wizard, we're going to be looking at a 1/4-20. And the depth's going to be blind. This time, though, the half. And like I said, a little bit more is better. The other thing we could do is switch it to the tip. But if I were to go 0.75 to the shoulder plus the tip, that would end up being around 820, 830 maybe overall depth. And if it was going to interfere with anything, then we might put a dimension that would keep it from breaking through our geometry. So we have the 3 holes across the bottom, 2 holes across the top called out, and these were the 1.875. And this is where we would see the potential mismatch. If I were to make this 1.88, because I made the other one 1.875, and I happen to use these to add the mate relation, that would create a little bit of a problem. All right, and it would be something that we'd want to correct, or it would go into, it would allow it, but say that it was misaligned. So 0.5, 5.25. So this time I have added my dimensions first, that there's no specific order, that I can go back now and make all of those horizontal. And then those two, select, control, select horizontal, select, control, select vertical, select, control, select vertical. All right, so that one manages to go through. And that would be another advantage of making it 0.75, that those as through holes, having those be blind, a blind hole, no great advantage there. All right, let's go to the other side. We'll double check our numbers. Should still pretty much be the same. And the issue becomes here that the datum, if we were worried about tolerance, the datum goes a little bit to the other opposite sides. Does make it a little more, if there was a positional tolerance, I'd want to take it into consideration. So our 1/4 inch, 0.75. We again have the 2 holes and the 3. All right, so just to illustrate that it doesn't, most of the time it doesn't matter if you add the relations first or last. That as long as they get in there and you're putting the dimensions in place, they will all cooperate. All right, so let's see. So doesn't help that they turn this one upside down on us. All right, so the let's see if that, oh, that one's still the, oh, that one went to 0.75. All right, well, we're gonna have to go check that too then. All right, so 0.25 there and 0.5 there. Yeah, that's not gonna line up very well. All right, some things that we're going to have to address, since those were vertical in the sides. Not sure why all of a sudden that one would shift. All right, so the 2 holes, and we're going to the 5.25 to the 9. .375, and notice that that one went to 0.38, where I'm pretty sure The other one said 0.375, so it's, and a missing dimension, 1.88. Okay, or missing decimal, so that looks like it got cut off. And 1 inch to the center for the half 13. Maybe I didn't get out of the dimension there. Okay, well, let's add those relations, horizontal. Okay, got those. We're fully defined. We can accept. And we're going to go back into the hole wizard, pick our half 13. And this was an up to next condition. So position and then select, and it goes back to the 13.77. And 1 inch from the base. All right, so since I put the half 13 holes at the center, and then hopefully everything is going to line up okay when I get back to my my geometry. But that's part of the process, is to 13.77 in the arc. Okay, is to double check as you go along. 0.5 on the fillets and rounds to the outside, except for the last one at 1.5. So I'm assuming that that is both sides. We're going to go fillet, and I want to put in the 0.5. Oh, the next one that I add should allow me to find those. Nope. Connected? Nope. All right, I'm not seeing one that I'm going to like here because it pretty much grabbed everything. So in this case, we'll just go through and pick our geometries, all of our edges. So don't want the face, and I'm trying to pick and zoomed out, which makes for a harder target to select. And we'll see which ones I missed. Ah, there we go. Okay, so the 0.5s, now they show the inside radius, and because that went from 0.75 to 1.875, then that would be an 1/8 inch, but not necessarily called out anywhere. We're just assuming. And from there to there is also, let me go to a 1/4 inch. Oh yeah, from the half to the 0.75. So I did get that one. Let's go back and edit, and I'll make sure to deselect that one. All right, so I think we can do a 0.25 from there to there. The problem becomes the fillet on that end. So still seeing the fillet and that coming around, but I think that that is part of the other inside. So that should pretty much take that edge out. And then we'll go 0.125. So yeah, that doesn't, that's still really strange. All right, so a ball end mill that deep, ball end mill that deep, at the very least, we're going to end up with a radius on that inside. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like with the 0.25, because I can pretty reasonably find an extended length and end mill and cut those. So it's not liking going into that blend. So let's just see if it'll do one and preview it. Yeah, it's going to lose, so that's going to have to be a face, and where it goes into that one. Let's try to back that up just a bit and see if we put that one in first. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to get, and then we're going to be into the half 13. All right, so I may have to go that way, and the order of the fillets going from largest to smallest. There we go. All right, so not going to be able to make that sharp, and then the blend into the other side. So, all right, there's the majority of the geometry, and yeah, I'm not sure, still not sure what's going on with that undercut. Maybe I'm worrying too much about it. Let's see if there's anything that shows up on these guys. Yeah, it's just really hard to tell what they're doing with that geometry and these overlaps. There's some things that don't make sense that would be up for design review. All right, so let's wrap. Oh, I was living dangerously and didn't save this. So we need to save, hold your base, and save.